What's going down, Des Moines? Welcome to another episode of Imitation by Invictus. Today, I have my friend Marie Miller of the Traveling Bean Co., right? Traveling Bean Co.?
Yes.
For those that don't know what the Traveling Bean Co. is, guess what? Marie's here to help explain what the Traveling Bean is. And if you happen to see this really, gangsterfied out old school VW van, that is 100% Marie's van. So thanks for coming on today. We appreciate the time. And
well, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
this is fun.
Yeah, for sure. So for the viewer that does not know who Marie Miller is,
what?
I know. Why don't you kind of give us a little bit of your story, like who you are, where you grew up, and how you got to Des Moines, but the Cliff Note version.
Okay. Well, from Iowa, have lived everywhere, have had a lot of lives, like a cat, almost.
Yeah.
So born and raised in Iowa, left, joined the military.
You joined the Army, right?
Yes, joined the Army. Stationed in Colorado the first time around, then went to Germany, did some contractor, Department of Army, Department of Defense work there, worked for the Veterans Affairs a little bit, came back stateside to Fort Riley, Kansas.
Ugh.
Yeah, it wasn't great,
Yeah.
But I finished some education there at K-State, so I am a wildcat.
Yeah, I actually went there for...
You did?
Yeah, for a summer school session.
Oh.
Yeah, so my dad was stationed in Fort Riley.
Oh, so you were there too. Do you
for
live in
a summer?
Oh, like Junction City or?
No, we actually lived on base, and then
Okay,
I just
did too,
commuted.
a little bit.
Yeah, I just commuted to Manhattan.
Okay.
And I took biology.
Okay.
That summer.
Okay.
So I took an 8-week every day you go to class type thing.
Can't miss, or you're pretty
Or
much
you're
out.
done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did my undergrad and my grad at K-State.
Okay.
Started teaching, and then from there. My best friend said, you know what, it's far more glamorous to come to corporate America versus to teach or do research because you get a BlackBerry and you can travel and you can do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I did join corporate America.
The BlackBerry is what got you?
It was the draw for me. Yeah, the buttons, the draw.
Yeah.
I felt cool having it out.
They don't even make those anymore.
No, they don't. And I held on to mine to the bitter end. I was like the last one. There were 3 people left at my company that had one, and I wasn't going to give it up from my dead, lifeless hands. I loved it so much.
Yeah.
But I did have to give it up because they basically quit producing them.
Yeah. I think they got absorbed by another company.
They did. But I really liked that BlackBerry. Anyway, so I did like it. Anyway, so joined corporate America, and that's what I've been doing the last almost 2 decades.
Right.
And my last gig was in Denver for a couple of years.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is I was really burnt out, running about 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
For months and months and months, and was doing some really good work with some amazing people, delivering some really great products and solutions to the marketplace. And I just thought, you know what? I'm getting old, and I need to start doing some things for myself. And if I can do this here and deliver some amazing products and services, why can't I just do that for myself with something I feel very, very passionate about?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the Cliff Note version.
Yeah.
So from Iowa, lived a lot of places, landed back in Iowa, ultimately. Relocated back here kind of officially, last year about this time.
Yeah.
I had been living here with another company too, but then left and
Right. You were full-time in Denver for a long time.
Yeah, it was a long haul. It was wonderful, but it was a long haul, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like you've always just kind of had that entrepreneurial spirit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty independent. Love to sort of travel, and relocation's never been a big deal to me. The military does that to you, and I think you can relate to that a little bit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could pick up and go anywhere. Because
You really don't have roots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you do now.
I do now because I started my own company, but it's previous to that, it was kind of like, oh yeah, we need you to go here. Like when Nike would send me places, I'd be like, oh yeah, sure, whatever.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Like living out of a suitcase, even traveling around doing whatever.
Yeah, I had a corporate apartment that they paid for because I was never there.
Right. So I get that, and there's some beauty to that too. You experience different things when you're on the run like that a lot.
Yeah.
So.
But then your body stops after a while.
Yeah, you age real quick.
Yeah.
You get worn out and drained out pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you left corporate America with the intent of starting the Bean.
I did. Yeah.
So where did you kind of tell us where you came up with the traveling bean? Like, it's not something that you just like woke up.
I think I'm just gonna go launch coffee out of an old van.
Nobody fucking wakes up. It's like, I'm gonna be a small business owner.
They don't?
No, no, I can tell you that for a fact.
I know. I felt like I had the capability to do it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd been sort of operating in that way for a long time anyway. I had started, truthfully, I had started working on the bean, on the business plan of the bean about 2 years ago. I had started that in December, about 2 years ago, and I started working on the business. It was me and Google. And it was me and Google all night after I got off work. It was me and Google on the weekends. And I did that for 9 months in Denver. And
just researching,
putting together a business plan. I'm a veteran. So I thought, well, years ago, there used to be programs for veterans. And I thought, female veterans, surely there's some stuff out there for women business owners or people who want to aspire to be a business owner. There isn't anything out there. So I had gone from pillar to post to different sort of VA resources just looking for anything.
Yeah.
And I just kept landing back at the Small Business Association webpage.
Yeah.
And it was literally some outdated, stale, barely there template that wouldn't get you bank financing, to save its life. And so I really just dug in on my own. And I looked at enough pieces of sort of other business plans that were just available out there online. Some of them you had to pay for, some of them you didn't.
Yeah.
That I got enough out of that I could cobble together a 54-page business plan with a lot of income statement work behind it. But ultimately, it was just an idea that I had. I was in Denver. I love the idea of these little mountain towns and kind of that hippie vibe. I'd been very contained and very restricted for a real long time.
Yeah.
As an adult and even as a child, that I never really had a chance to just explore freedom. And so this van and this coffee and everything that it represents is really sort of symbolic of me, but it is also a big fuck you to the big corporate machine.
Nice.
Truthfully.
Yeah.
It is. And it's not necessarily a big fuck you to the good corporate people.
Yeah.
Because there are several of those that I love and that I have great relationships with and that do really great work. Several here in Des Moines, organizations in Des Moines that are really just sort of wonderful. But it is a big fuck you in that, there's a lot of people who are sort of trapped in a corporate machine.
Right.
These big corporate organizations say a lot of stuff. They pretend and portray to sort of be there for the every man, the every woman, the small person on the street.
They give some sort of
image. They do. And a lot of it is just fake. And then you get inside the walls and what you discover pretty quickly is it's a sweatshop.
Yeah.
And there really isn't any concern or care for the human condition and the people that are actually doing the work. It's all about the glitz.
Life out of you.
Oh, yeah. Let's spend millions of dollars to put a sign on the side of a stadium, but let's not really just put a microwave on the floor of the people that are working there. But, I feel like, for me, it's just an expression of gratitude. It's an expression of service,
right?
And it's my way of giving back and really being authentic.
Right.
That's a mouthful. You'll probably cut most of that, but anyway.
No, we won't cut any of it.
Okay. Well, feel free.
No, I think it's great. I think that's great that you have the courage to come forward now from being behind corporate America and seeing that. You saw the interwebs of it, right? And you dealt with it because you were in HR for a long time.
Not HR. Not HR.
Oh, I thought it was HR.
No. Depending on where you've been in an organization, you might be really close to it.
Okay.
But not served as HR.
Okay.
No. My last probably 3 to 4 years, I was product. I was leading product. Prior to that, I was client services, leading client services.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you worked hand in hand with them.
Yes.
And you saw that aspect.
Yes. Yeah.
So seeing that and then coming forward and saying, okay, you know what? All you guys can kiss my ass.
Yeah,
I'm going to give something that's something that I think the people would want.
Yeah, yes, and it's not just me. I feel like I'm kind of representing the masses in a way, but I have several really good friends and former colleagues that are still in that corporate environment. Some have gotten out, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, the experience is the same on some level, particularly for women, you know, in male-dominated industries. It's
Right.
really hard. And, you know, you have to be tough and you have to be gritty. And even if you're all of those things, there are still women who are in executive positions that will never reach their hand back down to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really?
Never reach their hand back down
Why?
to you. Because I think they feel like they had to do whatever they had to do to reach their level. And they've sold their soul I'm being honest, they've sold their soul a little bit to be at the table.
Yeah.
And so then you sort of then run in that sort of world where, you know, it's still predominantly male dominated.
Yeah.
It's still predominantly men in the C-suite. They're still making more money, you know, 75 cents on every dollar that a female's making to do a lot more work in many cases.
Yeah.
Not in all situations. So I don't want to be negative about it, but I would say that, you know, large corporations do good work, but the dirty little secret is the people just are not valued. They're just not valued the way that they should be,
Right.
bottom line
As
up
a
front.
person.
Yes. Yep.
So you've stepped out of that. You've been out of this for full time for what, like a year now?
No, let's see. I dropped out. My beauty school dropout. Yeah. I feel like I should sing a song. I dropped out the end of February, so
Okay.
right before COVID hit.
Right. Okay. And then you just 100% started focusing on the bean and
Yeah.
basically the restoration of the van.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it was really hard for me to make that final decision, you know, because I'm kind of giving up something, but yet I'm moving to something else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, every day I'm still kind of pinching myself, and I think I'm still trying to figure out who I am. You know, I'm like, God, who am I now? But the reality of it is, it's been almost a year, and when I decided to leave, I had bought the van with the intent of, you know, getting it set up and retrofitted for, you know, coffee.
Right.
And so that's what I've been working on, you know, night and day for months.
Yeah.
And it's been good. It's been a learning experience, but it's been good.
Yeah. Because you and your husband, Jesse, have been working on this van together.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So originally I had it in my business plan to outsource all of this restoration.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I had it in my business plan to outsource it. And here in the Midwest, I mean, I'm glad that I did, because really here in the Midwest, it's really hard to find people who want to work on an old Volkswagen.
Yeah.
It's not that prevalent here.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Jesse and I had never done this. You know, he's far more mechanically inclined than I am. He's like MacGyver. He can figure anything out, which is really great, because these Volkswagens don't come with a playbook.
No.
I mean, it's like Facebook forums and old service manuals, and nothing really fits. Everything in the service manuals is sort of a suggestion. You know, try this, or you may
really?
want to. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that's directed. It's all just kind of a suggestion.
Yeah.
So you get the part and it shows up and it doesn't quite fit. So everything needs like fixed or retrofitted or melted down or molded into a part that actually works.
Oh, really?
So yes, so Jesse has given up every weekend. Well, I have too, but he's actually been also running his own business.
Yeah.
You know, since last October.
Because Jesse owns Core, right?
Yeah, so Core Constructional Services,
And
which
what-
is next door to 22nd
22nd
Street Barbell.
Street, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see you there on the weekends
Yeah.
working with
yeah.
your dogs. so.
Yes, that's right, the pit crew.
Yeah. Now, what is Jesse's business? Because I've always wondered what it is. I've seen the sign. Abby and I sometimes run past it when we're working out.
Oh,
but I
very
just
good.
never knew what it was.
Yeah, so they do concrete, construction, footings, all that stuff
Oh,
for,
okay.
for commercial.
Got it.
So they do some flat work, like I don't think they really do streets, but like they'll do parking lots and you know, if it's tied to a building.
Got
So they do a lot of schools, they do hospitals, they do
Got
a lot
it.
of buildings downtown,
Yeah.
but they're commercial.
But that's where the van is parked.
Yeah, so I've been really fortunate in that I've been able to use that little fourth bay that they have.
Yeah.
And every tool, piece of equipment, anything you can imagine that you might need is there in that shop.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been at the house, it would have been miserable, or I would have had to find a spot.
Right.
So they're all going to get coffee on me for a while, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't know that yet, but I mean, I've been very, very fortunate that I've been able to utilize that space,
Yeah.
truly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
So you've documented the bean through Instagram.
I have. I've done a mediocre amateur hour job doing that, but yes.
Well, I think every small business owner has to,
I know, but I look at your stuff and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah,
this is not Invictus media quality.
But I also pay my staff to do that. So
Right.
there's lots of intention behind
Right, with my
it.
old shitty Samsung 7 phone that is not even able to Google now. I need to like replace it.
Oh, wow.
Upgrade for better video
But
footage.
there's video and then there's pictures on
Yes.
on Instagram, and that's Traveling Bean Co.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes. And Facebook too. But more so I'd say on Instagram is kind of
Okay.
where I've been putting the stuff.
Yeah. From the beginning, because I
Yeah.
started seeing this stuff pop up like around the pandemic.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Yep.
So you can actually go on Marie's Instagram or the Traveling Beans and see the beginning, see the evolution of the change insight from that
Yeah,
van.
that's true.
Because currently it's being wrapped right now.
Yes. Yeah. It's up in Wadena, Minnesota.
Oh, Minnesota. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's getting wrapped, and
Mm-hmm.
then it's coming back down. And then how? Like, what do you still have left to get done?
You know, the inside's moving pretty quick now. So, the outside will be done with the exception of like putting back on the lights. And I've got some new Volkswagen hubs and some other things, right?
Yeah.
But really now it's all interior work.
Right.
It's getting it equipped to be a coffee van. So, I think it's going to move pretty quick, but flooring, it's pretty much been wired now for electricity and the generator power and all that stuff, lights. So now it's just a matter of getting in some tables or some retractable tables so
Yeah.
we can put the espresso machine and the sinks and
Yeah.
all that stuff in there.
Because you're gonna put Stella in that bad boy, right?
Stella is my tabletop. So Stella may be on board at times, but
Okay.
really the espresso machine that's going in that bean is much bigger.
Okay.
It's a much juicier, meatier piece of equipment.
Commercial-
Yeah.
commercial size.
And I can crank out a lot more sort of drinks with it
Yeah.
too. So
So if you haven't caught on what the Traveling Bean is, it's a mobile coffee
yeah.
van. I wouldn't call it a cart because it's not a freaking cart. It's legit 100%. 1978 Volkswagen van. That van is just as old as my crusty ass.
Are you 78?
I am 78.
Are you 78?
Yeah.
I think that van is October 78.
So I'm actually 1 month older than that van.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah, so it's technically a type 2 bay bus.
Okay.
So it's technically a bus, although it's a van. It's a van. It's a van. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what they called it in the late 70s.
a van. Oh, I'm sure. Van
Yeah.
down by the river. Van.
Yeah,
Like a big
yeah.
van, yeah. But for Volkswagen enthusiasts, they know it as a Riviera camper pop top type 2 bay window bus.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
I learned all that.
I bet you've had
Who
to.
knew?
Yeah. My mechanic is a Volkswagen guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I should probably give you his contact information.
You should.
'Cause
You can never
he-
have too many of those.
Yeah, he loves old Volkswagens.
Well, I'm super excited. And, this is my first bus van. But, the plan is 2.
2.
Yeah.
2 vans rolling around
Yeah.
selling coffee.
Yes. Coffee, teas, alternatives,
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So let's talk about what's actually going to be in there.
Okay.
Because it's coffees that I know that you've handpicked and then you've been kind of working through to bring on. So like you've been figuring out the sourcing of those and
Yep.
and
Yep.
then as well as the teas.
Yep. So Red Dragon Herbs and Tea, they are also a veteran-owned organization. They're here locally. They make amazing hand-mixed craft tea blends.
Yeah.
So I had happened upon them through word of mouth, reached out, met Mary.
Yeah.
She runs a lot of the distributing.
Yeah.
She's Miracle. And so I will be, making drinks utilizing their tea.
Yeah.
My coffees are out of Colorado.
Okay.
There is a story there, but ultimately fell in love with a particular type of coffee and then was seeking it out every time I was back there on a business trip.
Yeah.
And then when I really decided to do this thing, I sought out the roaster, and then we had a conversation. I went to go visit her in her facility,
Yeah,
and
I
it
saw,
just was
I
a
saw
love
those,
match.
Yeah, those images that you
Yeah,
guys took together.
she's amazing, has an amazing story as well, award-winning. And so I'll have coffees, some standard sort of daily drivers that I just know everybody will love. I'll
Yeah.
do some flavored brews. I'll have espressos. I'll probably have a weekly espresso drink, something fun.
Yeah.
Cold brews. I'll do
Yeah.
some tea drinks. And then a few oddball things that I think are just really good that you just don't see around here. Banana brew.
Yeah.
My Hippie Water.
Right.
Yeah.
For those that don't know what Hippie Water is.
Well,
What exactly is it?
yeah, so Hippie Water is just a really good alternative to coffee. So it's cacao, which is a type of cocoa.
Right.
It's
the
chai.
pure. It's the pure.
Oh yeah,
cocoa.
yeah. It's really good. It's got chai. It's got turmeric. It's got some cinnamon in there. It's got some nootropics, so it's like mushroom based, not coffee, but coffee alternative. And it's really just a slower burn with less caffeine, but it just feels really good. And so I love it. And the way I like to have it is as a dirty hippie. So I'm laughing because it's true. So I dirtied up and I put like either like I found this really great Vietnamese dark roast that works perfectly for it. Or you can run it with espresso, or you can do brewed coffee with it. But ultimately, I think either espresso or this dark Vietnamese is really good in the Hippie Water.
Okay.
So then that makes it a dirty hippie, and it's a magical carpet ride to the hippie land.
Nice.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It is. It's really good.
Okay. So, and then you're also going to offer hot and cold teas?
Yeah. Yep. So, being a veteran, I wanted to really pay homage and respect to veterans who have served on combat deployments to Iraq or Afghanistan.
Correct.
And so John Hintz has become a pretty close friend of mine. He runs Warrior Tattoo in Waukee.
Correct, yeah.
Big combat veteran, big Purple Heart guy.
Yeah.
We work together. We co-president right now for Valor Fit.
Correct.
And I don't know how we started the conversation, but, he had said that he was having this, like, really delicious tea when he was in Afghanistan.
Right.
So I started doing some research just to figure out what else is out there, and I find this whole narrative about tea in Afghanistan. So I found, I don't know, a handful of recipes that I thought looked about right, just based on my reading of blogs and all this other stuff I was digging into. And I started testing them out with him, got close, and then had a tea testing where you were involved and some others, and we landed on the right formula, the taste that gave goosebumps. So then I knew I hit it, and then we named it there too.
Yes.
Should we just say the name?
I mean,
this will be after the first of the year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
Combat Chai.
Pow pow.
And it's so exciting. It's so exciting because I don't know that there's another veteran-based tea milk recipe, milk anything. I'm just so excited about it because I just love it. I love everything about it.
It's great. It's for any of those that are huge chai tea lovers, you have to try this. Like I for one, I've never been a huge chai tea person. My girlfriend loves them, and I'm just kind of like,
yeah, it's kind of an acquired thing. I think you love them or you don't.
But you have to, like, it has to be made right. And, like, no offense to, like, big commercial business or anything like that. But, like, their whole focus is get them in, get them out.
It's a lot of syrups, too. It's a lot of cheater stuff with those.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, I get it. But that is kind of how that works in coffee in general is what I've learned. And, for me, I just don't want any part of that. I'm not trying to be big box. I'm not trying to be a Starbucks. I'm not trying to be any of those things. Hats off. That's not me. And my stuff is about as natural and as clean as you can get.
Yeah.
For me.
It's freaking phenomenal. If you see Marie out in the van, in the bus, you have to get combat tea, pow pow.
Pow pow.
Yeah, you have
it's just
to get
so
that.
cute.
It was just like, it was amazing. Like, I think we had already tasted like 4 or 5 different teas, and this thing comes around, and literally John's sitting across the table from me, and he's like, wow.
I know. It's just, I don't know, when you hit the bingo, you're so excited, dancing. I'm like dancing in the kitchen on some days when the recipes are just, I've worked on them, and then of course there's clunkers, but I'm not going to serve those.
Yeah, because everything that I know that you've done it with intention and lots of research, and then you've just been fine-tuning everything.
Yes, I have. A lot of caffeine. Yeah, I'm drinking it out of soup bowls now. I mean, that's just the truth. Jesse comes down the other morning. He's like, "Are you really drinking this soup or drinking this coffee out of a soup bowl?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "That's nuts." I'm like, "Well, get more in that way."
Yeah.
Soup tureen. Gravy boat. However I can pour it down the gullet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I literally left there like, hey, everybody. I came back.
Can't even spell your name. Can't write anything.
Yeah, I came back and I told the boys, I was like, I'm so hopped up on caffeine right now. I feel like I need to go run around the block 6 times.
Well, your pupils were so screwed up. I mean, that's just the truth. Like, one was big and one was small.
Yeah.
And that's not the first time I've seen that. So when I did the first coffee tasting, I did nothing but cold brews the first probably first half.
Yeah.
And those are really potent, highly concentrated, a lot of caffeine.
Yes.
Everybody was bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
I mean, the volume in the room went up exponentially within the first, I don't even know, 20 minutes. And pupils were just dilated and screwed up. That was you.
Yeah.
But that was you, yeah.
Yeah,
At one point.
I was literally like that. Like I had to quit drinking and had to start. I had to eat some of Echo's
Right.
cinnamon rolls to like basically come down from that caffeine.
Absorb all of the caffeine. Yeah.
I think by the time I went to bed that night, I was like trying to count sheep. So,
That's when you moved to NyQuil.
yeah, I was like, oh, I had a lot of caffeine.
I know. But
It was so
fun.
good though. It was good times. I know that it was good because I actually asked for more. So
That's right, you did. That's
Yeah.
right, you did. That's right.
okay, so coffees, teas, and then
The alternative stuff. So, I mean, mostly that is my hippie and my dirty hippie.
Okay.
But hippie would be sans coffee. And I'll have cocoa. I have some fizzes that I'm going to do. Those are a little different.
Right.
So it's espresso with either like a carbonated soda, cream soda or something.
Right.
And I'm going to do a tea fizz. So I've got a really good root beer float.
well, yeah, I did try that.
Yeah, and so you either love root beer or you don't. But if you love a root beer float, I mean, this is really, really good.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I've got a few others that you could actually add booze to, but I can't do alcohol out of the van.
Right.
Because I can't send people out to their car. I mean, with the land of COVID, I don't know. Maybe the times have changed. I look at that pretty closely, but I don't think I can do it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I think it's pretty heavily regulated.
Here you go with your boozy little Irish coffees
Yeah,
out to your vehicle.
yeah. Now, if you got your own Baileys, that's your
Right.
That's 100%
As I sell out of the door.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah.
yeah. If you bring your own Baileys in your own car, that's 100% responsibility on you.
I know. It's like all the things you think about that you need to have on board. Like, I was getting a lot of feedback in the beginning, things that you should stock in the van.
Mm-hmm.
And then a friend of mine is like, you're not a chuck wagon. Like, you have like Band-Aids and condoms and cans of soup.
Yeah.
And right? Toenail clippers.
Yeah.
Oh, and coffee.
Yeah, you're not Walgreens.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then, and if you love the bean so much, you can buy merchandise as well, right? Merchandise.
Bean gear.
Yeah.
Bean things.
Okay.
So we'll have some clean canteens.
Because you just signed a contract
I did.
exclusivity with them, right?
Yep, I did. So those are on their way, and those are logoed. I mean, I'm biased, but they are so adorable. I just love them.
Yeah.
And they're the 12-ounce size. They're thermal. They're perfect.
Right.
T-shirts, beanies, and beans. And I'm being requested for a lot of different things, and so I can definitely see the bean merchandise expanding because it's so much fun.
Yeah.
And it's good quality product. I don't partner unless there's a mission or a purpose. I mean, or something that's aligned with kind of how I see the world.
Yes.
So if that's not lined up, I'm not going to partner, and
Yeah.
I won't do business that way.
Because you partner primarily with veteran-owned, female-operated.
Yep. Good humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's really, it's important. My first approach is women and or veterans.
Right.
Local where I can. But there has to be some giving back. There has to be something happening in the community for me to want to partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good that you look at it from that objective because, like you want to make sure that, their mission lines up with your mission.
Yeah. I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're aligned in the core values, I mean, that's half the battle right there, I believe, and I think that comes through in what you're doing too. I hope people notice that or recognize that.
Yeah. I think just that transparency.
Mm-hmm.
So people do see it. It's just whether or not they choose to talk about it or not is 100% on them.
Yeah. Yep.
So, okay. So if I wanted to try to track down the bean, what's the website?
Don't ask me that because I don't know. I don't remember offhand.
We'll put it on there. We just went through this with Chris Hoffman.
I brought a business card. Travelbean.com, I believe, but don't quote me on that.
We'll flash it up on
Okay. But really, that won't be where they'll go. So sorry, however you do this.
Tell us where to send the viewers.
If you'd like to follow the Bean, I just gleeked. If you'd like to follow the Bean, probably Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So
Okay.
I'm going to, on a daily basis or when I'm out and about, I will be tweeting out my location.
Got it.
But I'll also be putting it on Facebook and Instagram. Those are easy to do, and
Okay.
that seems to be where most of the people are.
Yeah.
So that's probably what I will do.
But they can go to your website
Yes.
to get your merch if they want
That's
that
right.
as
Or
well.
to find out more about the story of the Bean,
Yeah.
or just, I don't know, take a look around. I mean, for
Yeah.
sure, the website's important, but I think on a daily basis,
On a daily to
Yeah.
find where the Bean is
Yeah.
going.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then if I wanted to, like if I have an event and I want you to come, what's the best way to contact you for that?
Probably through the website.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could direct message me, and that's happening quite a bit now.
Yeah.
But I really would like to get a little bit organized in terms of just how that comes through. You don't have to put all that in there, but yeah, website.
Website?
Yeah.
Or shoot you an email?
Yeah, yep. And that's all. That's all through the website.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah.
And then you'll bring the Bean, set up shop right there, have like
Yeah.
tables outside as well.
Yeah, so I'm equipped to either pop up. So, on a daily basis, I might decide if I don't have an event, I might decide just to hit the trailheads.
Yeah.
Or I might be at the dog park, or I might just be anywhere. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out where I
Yeah.
want to go that day. But yeah, other than that, I would be at an event and I could pop up there too. But the Bean is equipped to be indoor. So if I can't roll the Bean in, although in some cases that's possible, I could actually drive it in. But if I couldn't, I have all tabletop service too. So if you really like the coffee and you just want the Bean there, but we can't bring the van in, that's okay.
Right.
I can just
Yeah.
be inside.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then anything outside of what the Traveling Bean does, they can just always contact you on the website just to kind of see
Yep.
what they can work out, whether it's inside, outside,
That's right.
event,
That's right.
birthday party.
Right, they can request an event. Yeah, I mean, I've had a fair amount of interest for graduations already, or
Yeah.
block parties, those sort
Yeah.
of things. So
You're not going to say no.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I want to be where the people are,
Yeah.
and if they're looking for me, I wanna be with them.
Yeah.
So they're my people.
Right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And then where's the future of the Bean? I know that you said somewhere you wanted to get two. So you're actually
Yeah.
going to get another bus,
Yep. So
outfit it again.
Yep. So now that there's a recipe card, sort of, for putting these together, because
Yeah.
there really isn't one, you just kind of figure it out. But yes, so next year at this time, I'd like to be running two.
Mm-hmm.
And then ultimately, probably 24 to 36 months, I do want brick and mortar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so that's on the docket. And I'll never give up the mobile, though. I love
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I love everything about it. So
I think sometimes people forget when they go into a brick and mortar, they forget about, like not so much in this case, but like food trucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're super popular food truck, right? And then they get enough money and then they start their own brick and mortar and then they forget about the food truck aspect.
Right, and that happens a lot. I've seen that actually over the last 24 months, just
Yeah.
in my own sort of observation and research of this industry. I've seen that quite a bit. And for me, it's just the mobile's where I'm starting. I'm not going to forget about that. And
Yeah.
I love it too much. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it too.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
I can't wait to ride in it.
You will. I
Yeah.
should take you out for a day.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Yeah, for sure. We would for sure film you for the entire day.
But I'm saying, would you be open to serving some coffee,
Dude,
hanging
I make
out?
coffee for my girlfriend.
I know, I
every
saw
morning.
that. So you're already in training, which is perfect. Okay.
Yeah, we have Guido bucks.
It's awesome.
Can I, because
Yes.
I'm half Italian, can I say, have a nice fucking day, lady, and hand them
Yes,
their drink?
of course. Yes, of course. Yeah. No, in fact, that would be a black. We should do that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just come in there and just really throw on my thick Brooklyner accent. And
You
be
should.
like, hey, lady, your coffee's ready.
Well, and you're small. So, seriously. So
Yeah.
you'll fit in there nicely. We may not even have to pop the top. Well,
Yeah.
I'd be
down.
can serve in there. I can kind of serve standing up. I'm not super tall, but you're shorter than I am. So, but I think we would
Yes.
be all right together as a team.
If you call me and I'm not working for Invictus,
I'll grab you for a couple hours.
I will come help you.
Okay, I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I already know how to do it.
That's right, you do.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. All right,
I watched a bunch of YouTube videos.
Okay, well,
and I think I was messaging you. Marie, help me. I don't know what I'm doing.
I love it.
Well, at least you sent me your hot cocoa recipe.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And I didn't hear back. So I'm assuming either you used it or you didn't, or they didn't have cocoa.
They did have it.
Okay.
I'm surprised Abby didn't message you. They had it 2 weekends ago. And Abby messed up and didn't buy the hot cocoa mix that you.
Well,
you
it didn't have to be that.
Oh,
time,
no. She went to her sister's house, rummaged through the pantry, and got the baker's hot chocolate.
Oof.
So I put that in there, and I was like, "This doesn't look right because the texture is really
The taste
thick.
would be way different too.
Yeah, and it was really bitter.
Yeah, right.
So when August went to drink it, he was literally like,
Oh, this isn't very good.
"This kid like eats half my cheesecake when I make it. So like that's what he wants for dinner, cheesecake."
Right.
I knew something was off, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I accidentally grabbed the wrong hot chocolate." I was like, "What do you mean you grabbed the
I
wrong
bet
hot
it was
chocolate?"
gritty and bitter.
Yeah.
Was it gritty and bitter?
Yeah. Well, I don't, and it wasn't gritty because I had whisked it really well.
Yep.
But I'm sure it was bitter to the core. So.
And you know what? He's probably such a sweet kid. He probably like, oh, this is really good.
No,
he
he
like,
was
to choke
like,
it
no.
down.
No, he was literally like, no. And I was like, what do you mean, no? Like, you like everything sweets. And but Max,
Drink your cocoa.
I changed the recipe and I like tempered back some of the cocoa. I tried it again.
Right.
And then just added more of the milk and more of the vanilla.
Try to soften it up a little.
Yeah, and I still was like, it was still the wrong. So then they came over this weekend, and I made it, and he's like, yeah, this is really good.
Oh, good.
So,
good.
Because she got the right kind of cocoa mix. She got the cocoa mix that you...
She did.
Yes.
Good for her.
Yeah, so...
Way to go, Abby.
Well,
seriously.
we shopped there anyway. So,
do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like no big deal for us.
Okay.
So, and plus she had to go over to, we get our syrups from World Market.
Oh,
So
sure.
She just hit everything up.
Right there.
Yeah. So Whole Foods, World Market, all of it.
Perfect.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, after that, I was like, okay, now I know what I'm doing. So
I love that. Well, thank you. That's cool.
yeah, I always if you need Marie to like kind of walk you through anything, you can always send her a message.
I'll do my best. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I know that you do because I mean, you walked away from your corporate America job. You walked away from financial stability.
I did. Yeah, I sure did.
Yeah,
all of
nobody does
that,
that.
right? What you know and what
Yeah.
you're good at, and
Yeah.
sort of your brand in that way.
Yeah. Did you feel like you were just kind of going through life and checking off the boxes?
You know, I hadn't felt that way until probably the last year. And, you know, it just wasn't feeling satisfying anymore. And I felt like I was giving up too much of my life. I had given up too much of my life.
Right.
And I was kind of just a walking blood bag in a way. Yeah. I mean, it sounds so terrible, but I really, it was at that point for me. It really was.
Yeah.
I thought, well, I've got to do something else.
Yeah.
And, you know, why don't I just follow my passion and live a little for the first time in my, you know, at that time, 47 years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I can't believe you're almost 50.
Oh my God. I got a couple years left.
Yeah,
but
still,
no.
you don't even look it.
Well, please. Have you seen yourself? Have you looked in the mirror lately?
Yeah, it's because I'm half Asian, so I like got those genes. I got lucky in that aspect.
It's good lighting in here, right?
Yeah. Well, no, trust me, Abby reminds me every day how much. My other client was like, God, I hate it that you're Korean and you have that good skin.
You really do, though.
Yeah, well, it's just like, I like to tell people it's one of the decent things that I walked out with from my parents.
Stop.
So.
You've got great teeth, too. There's other things.
5 years in braces.
Because, you know, you get into your 40s, the teeth can get weird.
Yeah,
Just saying.
Yeah, like, I've noticed
teeth and gum can get weird.
Yeah, I'm getting the receding gum line.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Nobody gives you this, like...
They don't tell you for the first 20 years of your life that you're brushing your teeth too much or too hard.
Correct.
And then before you know it, you know, your roots are hanging out.
Yeah, you're losing your gum line.
Right.
They're like, we have to do
You're
something
like,
about it.
Ooh, that hurts.
That's
like
a little sensitive.
Right. I can't drink cold pop anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck? All right. So again, Marie, let's just kind of go over. We're going to wrap up.
Okay.
So what's your social media handles again?
Traveling Bean. I mean, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram as the Traveling Bean or Traveling Bean Co. You can also just find it through me, Marie Miller.
Right.
Marie Alicia Miller, sorry.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you can find me that way.
Okay.
And then, the website, you can Google me, but ultimately, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. So if anybody that's interested in having Marie come to your event, their event, birthday party, bar mitzvah,
Right.
whatever,
Right.
contact Marie at the Traveling Bean, and she will try to work something out with you.
Yeah. Yep.
And if you're just looking to find Marie, check out our social media handles on an everyday basis to see wherever the bean pops up at.
That's right. Yeah, follow the bean.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on. We love to have you back and kind of see where you are and things like that, and just what's going on with the bean. And then
I would love to. It'd be fun. And I'll bring coffee.
Okay, yeah. Drink a little coffee.
We'll drink some coffee at
Get
the same time.
pupils dilated.
I won't know which eye to look into.
Yeah, you guys. And then again, don't forget to check out Marie, social media, website, all that good stuff. And then Marie, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
And guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, all that other good shit with Invictus Media. So
thank you.
yeah, thanks. We out.